That message, "We can't update some of the links," usually means Excel is trying to reach another file, and it can't. The frustrating part is the workbook may still open, but your numbers can be wrong without you noticing. So the goal is simple. Find every external link, confirm whether it should exist, then either repair it or remove it cleanly. In most cases, the link is pointing to a file that was moved, renamed, or stored in a location you no longer have access to.
Sometimes the link isn't obvious because it hides inside a name, a chart, a data connection, or even conditional formatting. And sometimes it's not a bad link at all. Excel is just blocked from updating it by security settings. In the next few minutes, you'll get a reliable checklist. You'll learn where links hide, how to trace them fast, and how to stop the warning from coming back. Next step. Before fixing anything, it helps to know what Excel means by a link. A workbook link is any formula or object that references another file. The classic example is a formula like equals bracket sales.xlsx bracket, then a sheet and cell. When Excel opens your file, it tries to refresh those references. If the source file is missing, moved, renamed, or blocked, Excel warns you. The key detail is that Excel can still show the last saved values. That can make the workbook look fine while it's actually stale. Also, links can be direct or indirect. Direct links are in formulas you can search. Indirect links can be created through defined names, Power Query, pivot caches, or objects like charts. So the warning doesn't tell you where the problem is. It only tells you at least one update attempt failed. Your job is to locate the source, then decide whether the link is still needed. Next step. Start with the fastest built-in tool, Edit Links. In Excel, links are managed at the workbook level, not per sheet. When you open Edit Links, you'll see a list of source files Excel believes your workbook depends on. If the list is empty, the warning is coming from somewhere else, like a connection or name Excel doesn't count the same way. If you do see sources, your first decision is, do you want to keep the link alive? If yes, use Change Source and point to the correct file. If the file moved, browse to the new location and select it. If the file was renamed, pick the renamed file. Then use Check Status and update values to confirm the warning is gone. If you don't need the link, you can break link, but be careful. Breaking converts formulas to values. That can be perfect for a final report, but risky for a model you still maintain. Next step. If Change Source doesn't work, the path itself may be the issue. Excel links often store full paths, and small differences matter. A map drive like Z: can break when another person opens the file without that mapping. A network path can break if permissions change. And cloud-synced folders can create duplicate paths, like local cache versus online location. The most reliable fix is to standardize the source location. If you control the files, place linked workbooks in a stable shared folder, then repoint the links once. If you don't control the source, consider copying the source file into an approved location and linking to that copy. Also watch for file extensions. Linking to an XLSM when the source is now XLSX will fail. After repointing, save, close, and reopen the workbook. That reopen test is important because it confirms the link refresh cycle is clean. Next step. Next, handle the most common hidden link source, formulas. Even if Edit Links shows a source, you still want to know which cells depend on it. Use Find to search for an opening square bracket, because external references usually contain bracketed file names. Search within formulas, not values. If you find references, decide whether they should be updated to a new file, replaced with a local table, or converted to values. A practical approach is to copy the linked range, then paste values to freeze results, but only after you confirm the numbers are correct. Also watch for functions that generate links indirectly, like indirect. Indirect can build a file path from text, and those won't always appear in Edit Links. If you see indirect, treat it as a red flag. Replace it with direct references where possible, or document the expected source path so future moves don't silently break your model. Next step. Defined names are another place links hide. Names can refer to ranges, formulas, or constants, and they can point outside the workbook. The tricky part is that a name might not be used anymore, but it still triggers link checks. So open Name Manager and sort by the Refers To field.
Look for anything containing a bracketed file reference or a full path. If the name is valid and needed, update the reference to the correct source. If it's obsolete, delete it. If you're unsure, you can temporarily change the name to refer to a safe local range. Then test whether anything breaks. Be cautious with names used in data validation lists, charts, or formulas across many sheets. Removing a critical name can create name errors. A safe workflow is export or note the names you change, make one change at a time, save a copy, and retest the workbook open process. Next step. Charts can keep external links alive even when the cells look fine. A chart series can reference another workbook directly, or it can reference a named range that does. This often happens when someone copied a chart from another file. To troubleshoot, click each chart and inspect the series formulas. You're looking for bracketed workbook names or paths. If you find one, you have a few options. You can repoint the series to local data in the current workbook. You can rebuild the chart from scratch using local ranges. Or, if the chart is no longer needed, you can remove it entirely. Another subtle source is conditional formatting. Rules can reference other sheets and sometimes other workbooks, especially if they were copied. Review conditional formatting rules for key ranges and look for external references. Cleaning these up can remove link warnings that edit links never clearly explains. Next step. Now let's talk about connections, because many can't update links errors are really connection refresh failures. Excel can connect to other workbooks, CSV files, databases, or web sources. If that source moved or requires credentials, Excel may treat it like a broken link. Check your workbook queries and connections. Look for anything pointing to a file path that no longer exists. If it's a Power Query connection, open its source step and update the file location. If it's a legacy connection, update the connection string. Also decide whether the connection should refresh on open. If you only need a static snapshot, turn off refresh on open and refresh manually when needed. But if the workbook is meant to stay live, fix the credentials and the path properly. After changes, run a refresh and confirm you get clean results without prompts or warnings. Next step. Sometimes the link is fine, but Excel is blocked from updating it. This is where Trust Center settings matter. Excel may disable automatic updates for external content to protect you from unsafe files. If you open a workbook from email, a download folder, or an untrusted network location, Excel can open it in a restricted mode. Then link updates fail, and you get the warning. The fix is not to blindly enable everything. Instead, store the workbook and its sources in a trusted location you control. If your organization uses protected view or file blocking rules, follow that policy and use approved shared folders. Also check whether you're being prompted to enable content. If you ignore the prompt, updates won't happen. The goal is a secure setup where Excel can update links without you clicking through warnings every time you open the file. Next step. If you decide to remove links, do it in a controlled way. Breaking links is permanent for formulas because Excel replaces them with the current values. That's great for archiving, sending a final report, or preventing accidental updates. But it's not great if you still need the model logic. A safer alternative is to create a static version of the workbook. Save a copy, then break links in the copy. Another approach is to replace external references with an import step. For example, bring the source data into a local table, then point formulas to that table. That keeps the workbook self-contained while still being refreshable. Also document what you broke. Write down the original source file names and the reason you removed them. That small note saves hours later when someone asks why the workbook stopped updating from the old system. Next step. A really common scenario is that the source workbook is simply missing. If you can get it back, you can often repair everything quickly. Start by searching for the exact file name shown in edit links or in the bracketed reference. Check shared drives, project folders, and archive locations. If the file was renamed, look for similar names and dates. If you find the file but it's in a different folder, use change source to repoint. If you can't find it, you have to decide whether the linked values are still trustworthy. Remember, Excel may be showing last saved values from months ago. If those values drive decisions, you need a replacement source. That might be a database export, a new workbook, or a manual input table. Once you replace the source, validate the outputs with spot checks so you don't carry forward stale assumptions. Next step. Let's prevent the error from returning. The biggest prevention step is link hygiene. Keep linked workbooks in a stable folder structure and avoid personal desktop paths. Use consistent naming so files aren't casually renamed. If multiple people use the workbook, prefer UNC network paths over mapped drives, because UNC paths are consistent across machines. If you must use cloud storage, standardize how the team accesses it, so the stored paths match. Also, reduce unnecessary links. If a link is only used once, consider importing the data instead. And if you distribute the workbook externally, create a version with links removed. Finally, set expectations. If the workbook depends on external sources, add a small note in a README sheet listing the source files and where they live. That turns a mysterious warning into a predictable maintenance task. Next step. Here's a simple troubleshooting order that works in real life. First, open Edit Links and see if Excel lists sources. If it does, try Change Source and test by closing and reopening. Second, search formulas for bracketed references and check for indirect. Third, open Name Manager and remove or fix external names. Fourth, inspect charts and conditional formatting rules for copied-in references. Fifth, review queries and connections and test refresh behavior. And if everything looks correct, check security settings and file location trust. This order matters because it moves from the most visible and fixable issues to the more hidden ones, without randomly changing settings. The final step is validation. After you think it's fixed, reopen the workbook, refresh any connections you rely on, and spot check a few key outputs against known numbers. That's how you know you didn't just silence the warning, you actually restored accuracy. Next step. To wrap it up, that we can't update some of the links message is Excel telling me one thing. At least one dependency failed. The fix is not guessing. It's locating every dependency and making a clear decision. Repair, replace, or remove. If you keep links, standardize paths, and confirm permissions. If you remove links, do it in a copy and document what changed. And if the link is hidden, remember the usual suspects. Define names, charts, conditional formatting, and data connections. If you want a quick self-check, ask yourself one question. If the source file disappeared, would you still trust the numbers in this workbook? If the answer is no, treat link repair as a data quality task, not just an Excel nuisance. If this walkthrough helped, subscribe for more practical Excel troubleshooting. And in the comments, which is more common for you? Broken links from moved files, or links hidden in names and charts? Subscribe to keep optimizing your workflow and get back more of your time.